Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. Channel. From the Sugar Shack World Headquarters, it's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, we speak to the head cheese of Houston Miata Club.
Oh, boy.
I like that.
The head cheese?
The head cheese. Mm-hmm. Jeff has a segment on tires for EVs. We kind of had an EV theme going this morning.
A little bit.
But, yeah, tires for EVs. No, not the Maypops down the street at the service station. These are the real thing. Conrad has the racing calendar and the card clinic. And later, we discuss stories making automotive news headlines this week. Stay with us for hour number 2 of the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Howdy. Along with Mike out of this world Mars, King Conrad DeLong. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us on this hot Saturday. It's even
toasty.
hotter tomorrow is the forecast. I would like to throw that in there.
There you
just
go.
to kind of rub it in.
Just twist the knife a little bit. Just to make us a little extra swampy.
That's it.
Well, speak for yourself.
I do.
So, David Ainsley texted me and said, "Let me quote him here, if I may." He said,
"Is he quotable?
Can you say it on the air?
Well,
Because he says a lot of things.
well, yes, he does. This I can. He says, "Radio program, bruh. You have to change your mindset."
Bruh.
And I said, "What is it then?" "Live audio and video stream." Now that sounds sexy.
Now, and where is he?
The only thing you're not is on the radio.
He should be here.
Now, you don't know that because we do stream on iHeart.
Well,
Internet radio.
And David should figure out he's in charge of all of these radio stations. He should plug us in.
Many, yeah.
I mean, it'd be better than some of the programming he runs.
I have,
Take that, Ainsley.
Touche.
I have Roku at my house, okay? So I've really never looked at the channel on Roku called Local. Oh, my God. I watched until I couldn't watch it anymore. There's no narration. There's no human talk on this, okay? It was a tight shot of a woman's head with an array of Asian food dishes. They had the microphone turned up on her, smacking and eating all of this stuff with chopsticks and a spoon. That's all. That's all there was. And you sat there and you watched the woman eating.
How long did you watch it, Don?
I thought, well, surely there's got to be more than this.
He was waiting for more to come out.
45 minutes later, and he's still hungry.
After 15 minutes, I said, I can't believe that this is actually on here.
Yeah.
Truly amazing. So if they've got that on there,
We could provide better programming than that.
provide better programming.
I don't know. Maybe it's going to be close.
At least you won't still be hungry after
We
you're
can
finished.
smack.
It was the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen.
Mars, don't do that
On
behind
television.
me, please.
I mean, I come from the Howdy Doody era. That was a lot better than this woman smacking her food.
We could watch you take a nap during the show.
She was a relatively attractive woman. I'm going, did no one teach you how to eat?
With your mouth closed, so we don't have to hear it.
No, but then you don't have a video of them.
You know what's funny
Okay.
is she still got him to watch for 15 minutes.
All right, moving on.
Because I couldn't believe it.
It's kind of like a car wreck. You know? Oh, my God.
Time now
look
for
away.
our next guest, and his name is Freddy Riggs. He's
What
the
an
president. His name is Freddy Riggs, and he's the president of the Houston Miata Club. Sorry to have to put you through that, Freddy. We didn't mean it. Are you there?
Working my way through my first Diet Mountain Dew and orange juice. I didn't hear much.
And he's got a sense of humor, too. I like it. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Well, we're doing great. Obviously, you are a sporty kind of guy and like to actually enjoy your car, which a lot of people don't really. They just use it for a mode of transportation and don't have fun with it. But if you've got a Miata, you, sir, are a car guy.
I would tend to agree with that. You know, you got a few folks that are affectionately known as the wine and cheesers, which means they want to get in the car, drive somewhere nice, have a great meal, and drive home. But most of us we want to drive our cars quite a bit.
Yeah. Do you track your car?
I autocross it on occasion. My which car? I've got.
Well, I don't know. How many do you have?
Let's define our terms here.
Yeah, it's a situation where actually my father got another one. So the one I gave him 20 years ago is going up for sale. The Miata that I typically drive is my 2000 Special Edition, and it has a turbo kit on it, roll bar, upgraded brakes and suspension. So that car autocrosses on occasion. I may take it on the track. I'm waiting for some eye surgery before I feel safe to do that. But once I've got new eyeballs, I think I will do the track day this December, probably down at MSR Houston.
Great place to go on to track a car.
So I want to know more about this car with the turbocharger on it. It's funny you should say that. I just did a review on the brand new Mazda MX-5 Miata RF Club, which I'm sure that you're familiar with. And I said when it came to the engine, 181 horsepower from the factory is good. But if I were to offer Mazda any suggestions, it would be maybe perhaps offer a turbo option on the car. And here you are, you've already gone and done it.
Well, it's a much easier proposition with the older cars. Direct injection has made the new cars very difficult for certain modification. Edelbrock has a supercharger kit for those cars, but the car runs a very high compression ratio, 13-1, 14-1 in Europe. So it's forced induction's a little touchy on those engines. You so far they've not, for the most part, got it completely perfected in the turbo areas. Mazda has said no to it. They prefer the weight and balance and the horsepower to match up the way they want it to. Most of the guys with the newer cars from 2016 and up will modify the suspension and some other things. They can do an E85 tune with a header and some other modifications to bump the horsepower up, maybe 15, 20%. But my car is an older car, 23 years old. It came from the factory with 140 horsepower. It makes just under 300 right now.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's a handful. I'm actually in the process of putting a new ECU in it and probably going to detune it just a hair, but increase the drivability and with a nice tune, it'll run a lot better.
So what you're saying is that if I'm going to buy and really get into the whole Miata thing, then really my best bet would be to buy something like a 2015 Miata, where I'd have a lot better chance at like what you're doing.
That is a very two-sided coin, because what the new car does is the Skyactiv engines are so torquey and they have power everywhere.
Yes.
Like I said, I've been behind one on a fun run in my car. And, at that point, the car was pushing probably 240, 245 wheel horsepower, which is about 280, 290 crank. And I could barely pull up on a new car with a tune and a header running E85. I mean, he was almost as fast as I am.
Well, I will tell you, after driving this one that I didn't race it or anything like that, but I did get on the throttle some, not a lot. But, a 7,500 RPM red line on the car, and it would probably go more than that if it didn't have a rev limiter on it. But, man, it pulled all the way through the rev band once you got off the, away from the stoplight. Yeah. Once you got the RPMs up, and then the way that the transmission is set up, it's such a close ratio, 6-speed in the thing. Man, it got up and it went.
Well, they've been building that car for so long, they understand what the track enthusiast wants. Not that the car is built for the track, but Mazda is very dedicated to supporting those track enthusiasts who want to drive the Miata or the MX-5, whatever you want to call it.
Well, I'll tell you, Mike and I both actually have been on several of their press junkets, their reveals, and ride and drive kind of thing. And very impressive. And to talk with the engineers and the marketing people, that they're all there and they'll answer any question that you have. They are so focused on this car. They have a team of people within Mazda. That's all they do 24/7, forever, that they're always working on this Miata, fine-tuning it, doing different, even though that this particular current model year is several years old. It's got the Skyactiv technology, as Freddie said. I'm telling you, man, this thing is probably one of the, outside of the Corvette, when it comes to two-seat sports cars, this thing rocks.
Oh, yeah.
It's tiny. My problem is I'm 6'1", Freddie, and my knees hit the bottom of the dashboard. So for me, it's not all that comfortable.
Well, you're fortunate because up until 2006, the steering wheels did not tilt or telescope. You were stuck where you were stuck.
Yeah.
Now, fortunately for me, and unfortunately for people I've dated, I'm 5'6", so it's not been a problem for me.
Right.
Going back to your original question, you can modify any variety of Miata. The 1990 through 97 is an NA, 99 to 2005 is an NB. Those engines, millions of options, from turbo to supercharger, centrifugal supercharger, positive displacement supercharger, et cetera, et cetera. Same with the suspension, everything else. On the NC, which was an 06 to 15, that's a Ford 2-liter engine. But the 2.5 block swaps straight in. No hood clearance problems, nothing else. You can put in a 2.5 very inexpensively. And if you wish, intake, tune, cams if you like, or you can turbocharge it. So there are an enormous amount of engine modification options up until 2016. There are a few out there for the 16 to current car, which would include the Edelbrock supercharger, also a couple of turbo kits out there that are starting to see some leg room. But every iteration provides you with a different clean slate to work from.
Freddie, from what you were saying earlier, the later models, because of the way they perform, particularly the new ones, that, unless I'm just really looking to get serious with superchargers and turbos to take it out on the track, it's a pretty well packaged performance.
You don't
vehicle.
even need a supercharger or a turbo to get it on the track. This car is ready to go right out of the showroom.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It sounds like it, but if you wanted to get hardcore about it, then that's when you would back up to some of these NAs and NCs.
From my experience with Freddie and his kind over there on the Mazda Miata side, that the car truly is so well. It's like the Corvette in a much smaller package, clearly. Does it have the horsepower? No, it doesn't. But remember, the car probably, I don't know how much it weighs, but it's very light compared to the
2,320 pounds.
There you go. So it's a 1-ton car where the Corvette's much heavier than that.
Sure. Yeah.
It handles differently. It just does things differently. It's a different.
But it does it well.
Shorter wheelbase.
It does it so well. And as a matter of fact, I wrote an article and a review here just recently about it, and I said, MGB, which is the only really one that I'm familiar with, could not hold a candle to this car. Truly. And I'm sure that you've heard the same thing.
I have. And when I drove the new edition, when it came out in the end of 2015, it was so remarkably different in the fact that the chassis is so stiff. The torque is, you've got horsepower from 2,000 RPM in the current car up to 7,500. There's no dead spot. There's no waiting for power. You can short shift it or you can run it to red line. It pulls everywhere. You do a few light modifications and maybe a tune and an exhaust, and you've got 200 horsepower instead of 180. And it's truly amazing. My wife and I were talking last night because I've got a couple of them in the garage and I've got my daily car, which is paid off next month. And I said, and I showed her one in Florida that I want so badly. And she goes, well, let's do it. And I was blown away. Like, you're kidding me, right? You want me to go spend 26 grand on a Miata when I've never spent that much on a daily car, to be honest. And I've got a handful of Miatas. So we've discussed it. I don't think I'll do it, but I've got one car that's having some work on the turbo. The car up in Utah, my dad's house, is being sold. I've got another car here I bought from a doctor that I thought my wife would like, but she just can't do the stick shifting anymore with her back. So I've got to thin the herd.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I would imagine you're well connected in the Mazda community and won't have any problem with that. Speaking of that, let's talk briefly about the Houston Miata Club. How many members you got in there?
We vary dues paying members. And I mean, we're kind of like the Porsche Club. It's not cheap to get in. We're $25 a year.
Man.
What's to cover the postage stamps?
That covers our club insurance, our website maintenance, and 2 or 3 meals a year. One at the tech day, one at the track day, Christmas party. That's
so
what we
he's saying
cover.
$25 a member, but he's got 10,000 members.
I wish. No, I don't. I don't. Actually, we range in between about 140 and 175 dues paying members, but only about a third of them are real active.
Yeah.
They're gonna come to the monthly fun run. They're gonna come to the monthly meeting, the last Wednesday of the month dinner, and the tech day, the track day. And we have 2 nonprofit organizations that we support as well with that money. Not a lot of support, mind you, but we do contribute.
Where do you have these dinners?
The last Wednesday of the month dinner moves around town. It may be in town. It could be in Kingwood. It could be in Clear Lake. It could be in Katy. The monthly meeting now is at Jack's Grill, Shepherd and I-10.
Yep.
Second Monday of every month.
Okay. And y'all sit around and talk about, turbochargers and where you're going to go. Do you have any fun runs? What kind of good stuff you got going?
Well, we have a lingerie show, which is popular.
I'll bet that's a popular show for you.
Typically, we're going to welcome new members, let them know what we do, what's going on the next month, beg them and plead them to use the website because no one likes websites anymore. Everybody wants to just use Facebook. But the truth of the matter is we have a running calendar on the website. There are typically anywhere from 2 to 4 or 5 events a month. I don't always make the last Wednesday dinner because I like to get home and have some family time, but I make it once in a while. I make the monthly meeting. I make the monthly fun run. We're going with the Austin Club, the Tejas Club, out to Kerrville in the middle of October for the eclipse, and we're going to run the Twisted Sisters run out there. And you got to sign up. You got to pay. Don't show up on your own. But we've got a friend of the club president out there who's got 20 acres, and she's just going to have a place for us to all park, and she's going to serve us a barbecue lunch during the eclipse. And once the sun's back out, we're going to take off again.
Nice.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah, very nice. Well, it's Mazda Club of Houston.
HoustonMiataClub.com.
Already posted it up.
Very nice.
And if I could mention 2 quick things.
Sure.
The Houston Food Bank we support, and we ask for people to support them. We try to do 2 events there a year where we do some work. Also, Camo Rescue in Magnolia, which is a nonprofit small dog rescue that does great work. I transport for them as well during the week when I've got time. But if you're looking for a pup, go to camorescue.com. We'll get you a great pup, and you'll take one that's been abused or off the streets, etc. We appreciate your help.
Freddie, it's great to talk to you. Thank you so much for joining us today. Stay in touch with us, and we'll talk again soon.
We'll talk again soon.
Thank you, sir. Freddie Riggs, president of the Houston Miata Club. All right. The In Wheel Time race card is sponsored by Texas Nostalgia Modified Production. Conrad?
Well, next weekend, NHRA is at the Big Go, and so that'll be in Indianapolis. And then on the 14th of September, they'll be at Maple Grove. NASCAR tonight, 7 p.m., the second run at Daytona. Always a good night race to watch. Formula One this weekend is at the Dutch Grand Prix. The Italian Grand Prix is next weekend. IMSA is at VIR this weekend, Virginia International Raceway, which is always good. Cool little track if you've never been there. And then Indy cars are at Gateway this weekend as well, up in the St. Louis area.
Every time I think about that Daytona nighttime race, I always think about the guy in the race car. They had a yellow flag, and he ran into the back.
Tony Stewart.
Ran into the back
Of the,
of the safety car.
Yeah, it was Tony Stewart.
It was Tony Stewart.
Was he texting?
He wasn't paying attention.
No, he was. I think he was. Tony Stewart has a bit of and I'm sure he would
An
agree.
anger issue?
He has a bit of
No,
a temper.
I don't believe that. I think he was just
He
not
has a bit of a
focused.
temper. Well, he wasn't the only one to have hit a pace car. Dale Earnhardt Sr. on multiple occasions. You got to think these
But
guys.
it was probably on purpose with him.
Well, but these guys are, they're at 200 miles an hour and they're touching bumpers with another car at 200 miles an hour. So for them doing 70, 80 miles an hour, rolling up and whacking you with their front bumper really means nothing to
It was
them.
a truck that was up on the side. It wasn't a pace car. It was the safety
Well,
trucks.
when he wasn't paying attention and he hit
That's what it was.
he hit the safety truck.
All right, let's move on and talk about tires, but not any tire. These are
That's right.
tires for EVs. Do you own an EV? Have you purchased an EV tire? Jeff has all the
This
news.
story actually started when I was looking at an article that EVs don't have spares. And it's obviously for safety reasons and weight reasons, and that's another story altogether. But it led me to this, because a funny thing happened on the way to the petrol-free motoring bliss. The final piece connecting the car to the road is a tire. It uses air. It needs to be replaced every so often. And the demands that a motor places on traction, load, and noise are quite unique if that motor runs silent. There's no way around it. EVs require specific tires. Tires meant for EVs are engineered to withstand the additional weight, dynamic load, and traction that the demands of an EV require. Using non-EV tires, Mike, will likely result in far more accelerated wear, heat-related issues, and the potential of wheel spin from a stop. Even with traction control, Mike, you could experience a loss of direction stability. A long wide battery doesn't help an EV once it's moving and changing directions, and since the car is moving, the tire's dynamic load capacity must be up to the tasks. So you got that, Mike? Are you writing it down? Okay.
He's not even saying. He's not
I
even.
know.
He's
That's
in
what
some
I'm
other.
calling him out.
We're taking notes.
The
Jeff.
engine in an ICE car, ICE internal combustion engine, draws out some of the road noise generated by the tires, putting a huge premium on quietness from all the components, especially tires. Tires begin to produce most of the sound from an EV, both inside and out, once the vehicle is up to suburban street speeds, which, 35 miles an hour is an average. And the noise only goes up on highways. Normal vehicles have been using active and passive noise cancellation for years, but today there's a much more computer simulated software to work out the designs and the quieter tread patterns to be louder. Big challenges when engineering a tire for an EV. Most electric motors deliver enormous torque more aggressively and instantaneously than most combustion engines. They send more significant shock to the tire. This puts a much bigger requirement on the performance envelope of the tires.
It's kind of like run flats.
Yeah, and they're going to be a stiff sidewall, and absolutely. But there's also a design, Mike, of air hitting the front of the tire, the coefficients. And in this photo here, this reminds me of my old Pirelli days where they had a tire dyno. And back in 2010 when they had the new Camaro coming out, and they had the 18s, 19s, 20s, and they had the 21, which is a special option for the tire for the SS. They used to blow these things up on there purposely. They would run them until they failed.
Yep.
So
Really?
electric vehicles require lower rolling resistance than a normal tire, and it maximizes the vehicle's driving range. EV manufacturers want to capture every last morsel of range that they can get. Puts a much greater importance on the energy and efficiency of the tires. Low rolling resistance is not new, but a tire on an EV, it takes up 20 to 40% of the wear, whereas on an ICE engine, it's only 15 to 20%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because of the weight.
Because of the weight and the shifting, the motions. But Mike is onto that because they're using more run flats on EVs than anything else.
Well, that and
EV's heavier.
Right.
yeah, that's what we're
tires
saying.
gotta be able to
And so what
manage
we're
that.
saying is that so when you pad the throttle,
Like Buzz says he likes to do.
yeah,
Mhm.
that it really hurts those back tires. And I would imagine I imagine that rotation is huge.
Rotation is important, and the average cost is about another $150 more for an EV tire per tire.
Per tire.
And there have been EV owners that have said, after 4,000 miles, I got to replace my tires because of the way they drive the vehicle. They're thinking, like Buzz says, the hard acceleration, Mike's on-ramp acceleration test, those things wear more on an EV than it would be on a normal ICE.
Well, because, there are some that are all-wheel drive. There are others that are two-wheel drive.
Right. The increase in torque from that electric motor is just causing
You're
that
always biting
tire
the
to
tires,
work
always
harder.
biting.
Yeah.
It's like a top
Never
fuel
thought of that.
dragster.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, again, it started out being one story, led to that, so I thought that was more important because Mike's got all the EV stuff.
I'd be interested to see what the average time, if you're driving, if you're a normal person,
Tire life.
the tire life, what would be the normal tire life for, let's say, a Tesla that you don't go crazy with? How long would it last? 35,000?
Well, probably not. Probably less than that. Probably in
That's
the
what I would
25 to 30
Even if you
range.
bought one of the
Teslas are-
expensive, longer mileage tires.
Right. Now, you can get brand names, and we showed some of the pictures of the brands, the Kumos, the Michelins, the Goodyears. They're all doing that R&D. Now, when I was with Pirelli, they used the R&D from the performance of the racing. And then they would institute that, which they all do now anyways, but more so with them. Goodyear's doing the airless tire. They've got the honeycombs in that, the cutaway.
It's not available yet,
No,
is it?
but they're testing, and it will be soon, I'm sure. Probably within the next 5 years. They'll do
Well,
airless tires.
but that's going to differ from manufacturer to manufacturer.
Exactly.
Heck, the tires on Angela's GLC 300 Mercedes, I ended up replacing them at 15,000 miles because they were wore out.
Well, it's
And
just,
she's not a hot rodder.
and that goes to a point because a softer compound tire will wear quickly, and I think the softer compound was because it was more of a luxury car, smoother
Yes.
ride. That makes sense when you buy it. Oh, I'm going to be enjoying it. It's like a living room couch driving, but you're wearing out the tires.
sidewall distortion adds to the wear of the tread as well, because as the sidewall distorts, the tread hits the ground a little bit different.
And that's where they have the noise reduction, the harmonic balance, so to speak, the harmonic noise, where the tread blocks are closer in some respect and wider in some. It's to all do with noise.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
You betcha.
The In-Wheel Time Car Talk show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In-Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. And podcasts are at your fingertips on over a dozen of the most popular podcast outlets. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk show continues right after this quick break. The original group of Loopy Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipes mean when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the original Loopy Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here's the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Loopy Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Speaking of original, nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Loopy Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Loopy Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Loopy's. It's located just off I-10 of the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggie Land? Head to the Loopy Tortilla in College Station, located just around the corner from Kyle Field. It's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Headed east to Louisiana, stop in at the Loopy Tortilla in Beaumont. It too's on I-10. You can't miss it. The original group of Loopy Tortilla restaurants invites you in for the best Tex-Mex anywhere. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. The award-winning In-Wheel Time Car Talk show is available on the most popular podcast channels out there in 30-minute episodes. We realize our 3-hour live show can be difficult to catch in its entirety, so now you can listen every day to a convenient, fresh 30-minute episode. Check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Audible, along with a dozen more. In Wheel Time has the most informative automotive guest interviews and new car reviews, along with popular features including Conrad's Car Clinic and This Week in Auto History, along with automotive news headlines. Our live broadcast airs every Saturday, 8 to 11 Central on InWheelTime.com, the iHeart app, and on YouTube. Be sure to say hello when we're broadcasting from the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise Inn, Autorama, and the Houston Auto Show, among others. Now, it's easier than ever to hear about all things automotive all week long. You're invited to join fellow car enthusiasts in becoming part of the ever-growing In Wheel Time Car Talk family. Don't forget those 30-minute podcast episodes on your favorite podcast
That's
channel.
it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music.